My daughter is 17 and applying for colleges. We have a college fund saved up for her that we've been adding to since she was an infant. It's a good sizable chunk of money, and a lot of donations from family have gone into it, as well as her own savings occasionally. We have always made it clear that the money in there is for college only. She never had to put her savings in there, has a separate savings account, but did so anyway. Anyway, her girlfriend lives in Australia, and they are both insanely big Supernatural fans. They have both wanted to go to a convention for years, at least 5 that I can remember. 2 of the main guys are going to be at a convention in Australia. She begged me to let her go. I said no, but the con is set for after her 18th. I can't stop her if she pays for it. I assumed she would use her savings. I checked the college account to add some in and noticed a chunk of money missing. I went to speak to my daughter about it, and she admitted to using the money to pay for the convention. She bought herself plane tickets, her girlfriend plane tickets, other end of the country, both of their con tickets, as well as booking a hotel. The con is 3 or 4 days, but she's planning on staying for a couple weeks and making a vacation out of it. All in all, she's taken about $10K. I lost it, honestly. Demanded she cancel, which fell on deaf ears. I tried to cancel for her, but she won't be refunded everything, so I'm hesitant to do so. She's insisting that it's her money and she can do what she likes with it. Claims she still has enough for college, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I believe this has shown her extreme immaturity and inability to manage her future and money. I am so incredibly angry that she would go and do this. I told her she could say goodbye to the rest of her college fund and have locked the account. I'm now the only person with access. She said she'll pay it back, but it seems unlikely. My wife thinks I'm being harsh and that she's right. She put at least $5K into the account herself, so she really only took $5K, which my mother-in-law has since said she'll pay back. I think this just teaches her she can pay her way out of messes. I was certain in MH decision, but everyone is acting like I'm the asshole. She's a teenage girl and her entire life shouldn't revolve around college. I'm still uncertain. Am I a meanie?
You put the money into the fund to send your daughter to college, not to some fan convention in Australia. Now you are making sure that that money doesn't help send your daughter to college. If this is your way of getting your daughter to college, it stinks. I can't help but note that you, the responsible adult, didn't set up the account with the withdrawal protections that you could have. You should have been wise enough to know that a 17-year-old with free access to that big of a pile of cash shouldn't have access to it without any limits. That in no way excuses your daughter, but it does mean that you should have had more foresight into the folly that teens can do. She needs to understand that it isn't about dollars, it's about being responsible. You're not a meanie for telling your daughter that she isn't getting the money. But you would be a real idiot if you followed through with that to the extent of emptying the account, depriving yourself of the option to change your mind when you cool down and are looking at a high school graduate who needs a job.
This is the way to go. Never trust kids with the money for college. Pay for it yourself. True story. My brother-in-law pretended he was going to college for almost 3 years, spent the money God knows where. It must have been about $10,000. His mum works in Italy, and she was sending the money from there. Afterwards, my mother-in-law even told me that a couple of times her son would text call her and tell her that he needed money to buy a formal shirt for a presentation for college, and he didn't have the money, and could she send him just $50 for clothes. And she works full-time, so it wasn't like she could just go downtown and send it through Western Union. She had to ask her boyfriend, whose job does have him moving around downtown most days, if he could lend her the $50 and sent it to her son. It was a huge thing. I still have no idea how they got through it.
Never trust kids. Full stop there. Just never trust kids. Why? Because they're kids. We can say shit like, but 18-year-olds are adults. And that is correct in the sense that the day they turn 18, they are an adult, with 24 hours of experience of being an adult. They're newly adults. They have arrived at the point where they are going to start doing adult things on their own, and start making adult decisions, choices, on their own. Which means they're going to screw up because they don't have the wisdom and experience of being an adult. So don't fully trust them. Yet. You can't give them full access to a big bag of money and expect them to always make good choices. Like this isn't the first time they've had full access to a big bag of money.